Hey lovelies, welcome back to Make Life Easy with Faith. It's your girl Faith Odhiambo, and I'm back again with another recipe video, this time very interesting. But before we start, let me know where you are watching from. In case you are new, karibu sana. In case you are a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. Don't forget to like this video, share, and turn the notification bell on so that you always get notified anytime and every time we upload any new video. This is a tutorial on how to make samosa step by step. We are making beef samosa fillings, and samosa is one of the easiest things to make. As in, once you get the hack, you'll be making it every other week. I hope you get to learn something. So first of all, I'm starting by doing my preps. So for this recipe, you'll need green onions, and then you'll also need the round red onions. You'll need some dhania, you will need some garlic, and you will need some ginger. Let's get right into the preparation. Enjoy, guys. So first off, I'm prepping my onions, my garlic, my ginger, and then I'll go ahead and wash them before I cut them into small pieces. So prepping the ingredients for the samosa is normally the work when it comes to the filling part, but once everything is ready and cut, then the rest of the recipe is easy peasy. So the bit of work will be in prepping your onions, your garlic, your ginger, your dhania, and any other thing that you'd like to add into your samosa as part of the fillings. Guys, don't forget to let me know where you are watching me from. I'd really love to know where all of you are watching our channel from, and greetings from Kenya as well. So yeah, let me know on the comment section which country, which city are you watching us from, and I'd really enjoy to hear from you guys. So I've already prepped everything and washed them. So I washed them off camera, but you can see the water on the board. Don't forget to wash your ingredients so that everything is clean. And I move ahead to cut my red onions into small pieces. So you can use one large onion or the number of onion that you prefer, depending with how much fillings you are making. Don't forget to cut your onions into tiny pieces so that they are edible, because we'll be putting them inside the samosa pockets. Once you're done chopping your red onions into tiny pieces, just put them in a bowl and keep them aside. We will use them once we are done preparing everything else. So after this, I'm going straight into the green onions. Also cut them into tiny pieces. So once that is done, I'll just put it in a bowl and then keep it aside. I go ahead and cut my dhania or cilantro leaves, and then this is also optional, so you don't have to use dhania. It's optional. You can use it or not, depending with your preference, and you can also add other things such as thyme or any other ingredients that you wish to add. So yeah, you don't have to strictly stick to what I'm using. So I'll move ahead to crush my garlic, and then I'll cut my ginger, and we start our cooking process. You can use garlic and ginger paste in case you have that one that is bought or ready made, and you can choose to cut them into small pieces using your knife. In case you do not have this kind of crusher, you can also just crush it using the pestle and mortar if you have that. For the ginger, I am going to grate, but you can as well just beat it with a pestle and mortar if that is what you have. And if you have the ginger and garlic paste that is normally bought from the supermarket, you can use that. So once I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and put my minced meat into the sufuria, switch on my fire and let it cook. I just added a bit of salt, and then I'll go ahead and add my red onions and then allow it to cook as I stir. And for these fillings, I am not adding any cooking or vegetable oil because I'm going to dip my samosas in oil, so I find it to be a bit much if I add oil at this point. So after the red onions, add your garlic and ginger and stir as well and let them cook before we can add our next ingredient. So just let your ingredients cook well before you add something else. I've added the green onions. So the green onions, you add them when the meat is already done, like rightly cooked. And then finally, I've added my dhania or cilantro leaves. So our ingredients are very simple. You need flour, you need salt, and you need some warm water, and that's it for the pockets. But you can do spiced pockets in case you want to. I'll definitely do a video on that, but for this one we are simply doing pockets with flour and salt only. So I've started with 1.5 cup of flour, and then I've added a pinch of salt, or let's say a tablespoon of salt, and then I'll add some cooking oil to my mixture and then mix everything together. I've added some warm water. So for the water and the flour, we'll be adding little by little as we go, depending with the need. If pockets, they're supposed to be very light, so very small dough will go a long way. If you do a lot of dough, you'll end up with a lot of work to do. Yeah, so as I said, I add flour little by little as I add water until I get my dough to where I want it to be. As you can see, I keep adding my flour as I need. Yeah, so I'll do that until I get to the consistency that I want. So just keep adding flour, keep adding water until your dough is nicely done. You know where you're watching us from. Type on the comment section which country, which town you are watching us from, and I'll be really happy if we can talk. Let's talk on the comment section. So I'm actually almost done doing my dough. This is the consistency that I wanted. This is how I wanted the end product of my kneading to be. Yeah, so as you can see, it's a very small dough, but it will give us very many samosa pockets because, as I said, samosa pockets are supposed to be very light. We don't do them heavy, and that's why we don't do a big dough like that of chapati. So yeah, I'm adding my final cooking oil because my dough is almost there where I need it to be. So knead that, knead, keep kneading until you get the perfection that you are looking for. Go ahead and transfer it to your counter. So I'm just dusting my counter with some flour so that my dough does not stick on the counter when I transfer it. Yes, so we move to the next step, which is spreading the dough using our rolling pin. Yes, the same way you normally do chapatis. So yeah, and guys, there are so many different ways of making samosa pockets. This is just one of them. I'll definitely do more recipes on how you can go about it. So once I've spread it out, I'll just roll it into something that looks like or something similar to the rolling pin or the rolling stick. Once that is done, I'll begin to cut into small balls and then making a circular shape or to small balls. Just roll them into small balls and put them aside. Remember to dust your counter or your working surface so that they don't stick on the working surface, right? So once I've made my first ball, I'll go ahead and make the rest by cutting them into very tiny pieces into tiny pieces, and then I'll go ahead and make them into balls like I have done the first one. So like I said, making samosa pockets is easier compared to making chapati. It's really easy, and once you get used to it, you'll be doing it within 15 to 30 minutes you have your samosas. It's a very quick snack to make once you get used to it. Once done with making the two small balls, dust your counter again and then spread out the balls into tiny shapes like those of chapati. And then for this process, you can decide to stack them all together, or you can do 2 by 2 or maybe 4 by 4, depending with how you find it easy. So once I've done that, I will dust that with some flour and then some cooking oil. So the reason why we do this is so that when we put the other on top and then we roll it, they do not stick together when we will need to separate them once we put them in the hot pan. So you keep stacking 2 and then putting them in the pan. On the pan, we just want to heat them. We are not cooking them. We're just heating them, so you don't need to oil your pan. Remember to subscribe so that when I do another method, you'll be able to see the difference. So once that is heated, you remove it and then put another pair of 2. So we only heat it because we are not making chapati. So you do it the same way you normally do, let's say, naan. Yeah. So you see, when you do it, because I added flour and cooking oil, separating them becomes easy. So for this first one, makosa ilifanyika. They are not supposed to tear, because when they tear, when you fill it with maybe beef, the beef fillings, or is it the minced meat, they'll probably zitamwagika, so they're not supposed to tear. So repeat each ball one after the other as you stack and then roll it as if you're rolling chapati, and then put it in the fire. Let it heat one side and then turn to the other side. As you can see, once you do that, separating them becomes very easy. So if you stack 4 or 6, then you'll have to remove it 4 or 6 times. So because we only stack 2, we do only once, like that. So once I'm done with all that, I'll go ahead and prepare our flour paste. So for this paste is what we will use to bind the pockets together. And if you know, we normally use this paste, or people normally use this paste in case they want to do like posters on electricity poles or walls. They normally use the flour paste. In case you didn't know, now you know. So this is what we will be using as our binding glue for our samosa pockets, and it's so easy. Just put some flour, add some warm water, and then mix that until you get that consistency like the one I'm showing you. Making the paste is that easy. Once your paste is ready, set it aside, and you are ready to now start making the samosa squares. So for that, you just need to cut them into halves. You can do, if you did like this chapatis or the round thing, if you did them big, you can cut them like horizontal and vertically. But because for me I did little pieces, I only cut it in halves. So cutting it depends. And then here I was trying to show you how you can fold them. So we want them to be triangle. Yes, we are looking for the triangle shape. For here, you need to apply a little bit of your CBC if you did CBC, or your art and craft. So as I said, we'll use the paste as our binding glue to bind one side to the other, so that we get the pockets that we will fill with our minced meat. So make sure that you bind all corners that might leak the minced meat, and once that is done, you'll dip your minced meat in there. So it's that easy or that hard, depending with how good you are in art and craft. So once that is done, go ahead and do your fillings. You can do minced meat fillings the way I'm doing. I'd like to know, do you eat beef or you don't? Let me know on the comment section, and let me know what fillings you prefer. I'm using beef. You can use chicken, you can use potatoes, you can use cabbages, you can use green peas, just whatever it is you want your samosa fillings to have. You have the free will to use whatever means you do. So as you can see, I am sealing all openings so that when we are dipping our samosas in oil, the fillings do not spill. Yeah. So, and I'm trying to perfect the triangle shape, as you can see. So I'll repeat the process one after the other until we are done. So you remember I told you, like, do not prepare a very big dough, because all this will divide them into half. So we'll make very many samosas. So you need to make very, very little dough, right? So that you don't remain with a lot of dough that you don't know what to do with. Or you can do many in case you want to do many samosas. That depends with how much samosas you want to do and also the size of the samosas. As you can see, for me, I went for the small or the tiny samosas that at least one can do 2 to 3 bites and they are done. Yeah, so depending with the size of samosas that you want to do, that will also determine the amount of dough you'll prepare. So as you can see, I'll just tuck that in and then apply my paste, my flour paste, really nicely, and then close it up. Look for any openings that there are and close it up. It's that simple, and you repeat that process one after the other until you are done. So guys, I want you to try this method out and let me know in the comment section, is it easier, and which other method would you like us to try on this channel, and I'll gladly do it for you. Remember that here we make work easier. So does this make your samosa making process easier? Let me know on the comment section. Remember to give this video a thumbs up. This is how my pockets turned out. Just look at how amazing they look, and the size is also perfect for me. So on to frying the samosas. In a sufuria, I'll add some vegetable oil and let it cook a bit, not that much, and then I'll dip my samosas. And it's so easy at this point because you dip them for less than, let's say you do it for 3 to 4 minutes and then you remove them, because the meat is already cooked and the dough is a bit cooked. So for the dippings, we only need it to turn the color to that nice brown color. So don't let it stay in the cooking oil for too long. For our samosas, we had it with some very chilled apple juice. I'd like to know what accompaniment you'd have with this samosa. On the comment section, talk to me. Let me know what you'd have this with. Is it tea? Is it juice? Is it porridge? Or would you eat it just the way it is? And guys, I can promise you, try this method. It's very simple and you'll come thanking me later. These samosas were sweet. They were 10 out of 10 minus nothing. So try out the method. Once they are cooked, I have just placed a kitchen paper towel in the other pot so that when I put them there, the paper towel can suck any excess oil that might have remained in our samosas. And then once I remove this, I'll add the next batch and let it cook, and then another batch until I am finally done. And also, something I forgot to mention is, while the sealing is also to prevent the cooking oil from going too much into the fillings. Yeah, so that is why we were sealing it. Like, we didn't want any spaces remaining, because when the cooking oil goes too much inside, then it tends to have some funny taste. Yeah, so that is also another reason, other than the fact that we didn't want our minced meat to spill in the cooking oil. Look at how amazing our samosas look. I'm on the final round and this is the outcome. Just look at how perfect they look. and the taste was even much better. Try this out and let me know how yours turned out. Bye for now.